Alright everyone, there's been a small collapse at the Hanford nuclear waste storage site, Washington State. I believe this is the same site where they had a problem because they had these, like, the drums or casks, and they had nuclear material mixed with, like, kitty litter, but they used the wrong kitty litter and it wasn't stable enough, and then water got in and it caused a chemical reaction and there was a significant radioactive release. I think that was Hanford, but I'm not quite sure. There are all these storage sites for old nuclear waste all over the world. And none of them are fully secure. They all inevitably over time have problems. And yet nuclear is safe. No, it's really not. It's a good stand-in while we transfer to green energy. And I do understand when people tell me, oh, solar's not efficient enough yet. Yeah, I know that. But it's getting more efficient with time. It will eventually become efficient enough to use it on its own. You could even imagine a scenario where the factory churning out solar cells is itself powered by solar cells. A multiplier on your efficiency. Yeah, it's possible to do that. It is possible to achieve. There was a time when people said it was impossible to split the atom and get energy from that at all. And lo and behold, we did. Now, part of that's good. Yeah, you know, mutually assured destruction, so we staved off a nuclear war. And, you know, destroying those evil Japanese civilians, several 100,000 of them for, you know, little or no reason. We got tired of firebombing civilians in Europe, you know, killing hundreds of thousands of German civilians in one go. So we decided to up the ante and just have one bomb that could accomplish a week's worth of firebombing or something like that. And it was all very, very funny, and everyone had a good chuckle because, of course, at the time their propaganda said, oh, yeah, but they're Japanese, so they're, like, not even human, and that's how they justified it. You know, fucking Truman and FDR and all these other idiots. That's what I really think about atomic weapons and nuclear material. Here's the thing, though. You're going to have continuous problems at Hanford, and you're going to have continuous problems elsewhere. You've got your Chernobyls and Fukushimas and 3 Mile Islands, then you've got all the waste storage sites. I can remember years ago when people were talking about Yucca Mountain, I think it was, the storage site there. Oh, we don't want nuclear waste stored here. Oh, you know, we do. We want this tax money or something. Oh, the government's just going to force it on us. No, we say no to nuclear, and they're holding signs and protesting. Yeah, I wouldn't want nuclear waste near me either. Because even if it doesn't pop off, even if you don't have like an earthquake that collapses the whole thing and there's like radiation seeping out everywhere, even if it doesn't poison the water or the air or anything, there's always the risk that it will. Nobody wants to take that risk any more than the average person really wants to live next to an oil refinery or something like that. Yeah, there are problems with industry. There are problems with energy production. Some of it is less problematic than others. It just sort of happens. And by the way, to the nuclear nuts telling me, oh, it's green energy because, you know, oh, it was very clean production of energy. Yeah, but in order to get that refined material made in the first place, you use fossil fuel. All those dump trucks and bulldozers and cranes that you're using at these mines, in order to extract the material in the first place, they use fossil fuel. They're not nuclear-powered dump trucks. That's not the way that they work. They're fossil fuel powered. The refinery is probably getting its electricity and its raw fuel in the form of oil or natural gas. Fossil fuel. Not nuclear energy. Yeah, okay, maybe you've got the nuclear plant next to the nuclear refinery. That's very efficient. It's wonderful. And then it creates all these waste products. Now, we used to take some of that, put it into weapons, and then sort of forget it. But we stopped making nuclear weapons, and now we have to dump all that shit all over our landscape in hopefully remote areas where it won't trouble people so much. You know, it's retarded, honestly. You get another collapse at the Hanford site. Great. Great. This time no radiation was released. That's good news. What about next time? Which is inevitable. You know, you're talking about storing this stuff for centuries or thousands of years. You're not talking about storing it for a couple years and then it's inert and everyone's fine. Okay, well in that case, not a big deal. A lot of this radiation will still be there 1,000 years from now. And nobody wants to even talk about it. Nobody wants to discuss it. All the nuclear nuts, they'll come onto this video, by the way, some of them, and they'll say, no, look at this infographic, nuclear's safe, or something like that. Yeah, of course it is. Radiation is totally safe. Go wander around with no protection in the middle of the reactor. It sounds like a fun time. Go eat a chunk of uranium, you'll be fine. Go to Chernobyl and take a bunch of contaminated dirt, smear it all over your own body, in your eyeballs. Start eating the grass, you know, it's radioactive. Eat some of the radioactive ants. Crawl inside one of the trucks that were used to hose things down that's, so radioactive it'll literally kill you within an hour. Go crawl inside there and take a nap. I'm sure it's just a myth that radiation's bad for you. You'll be just fine. You'll be glowing. You'll have a third nipple and maybe an extra penis or something, or one of your feet will fall off, but you'll be fine long term. The leukemia, that's a myth too. Medicine doesn't even matter. Now, I don't give nuclear a pass. It should be used as a stand-in while we transfer to better forms of energy, which we're perfectly capable of doing. Their efficiency will increase on its own in a free market situation. The next big innovation will happen. There's no hard cap on its efficiency beyond maybe close to 100%. We're using primitive solar designs. We're using primitive wind designs. Trust me, there are better ways to arrange these things. They're being innovated all the time. There are safer ways to extract natural gas. There are probably better ways to extract radioactive material and process it to use it for energy too. But we haven't thought of that now, have we? People want to talk about thorium. Okay, try it out. Build such a reactor. Let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of waste we get and so forth. We should take some of this and turn it into more nuclear weapons. Or we could launch it into space. Expensive, yeah. Probably a lot less expensive than what's going to happen at these waste sites long term anyway. People are thinking short term. They're thinking, oh, well, it's cheaper to just bury it in the ground. Yeah, long term, it's a lot more expensive because you're going to end up, inevitably, seismic event, volcanic event, whatever the hell happens, you're going to end up with a massive exclusion zone and all the economic productivity of that region no longer matters. You're not going to be mining out any resources. You're not going to be farming the soil. You're not going to have tourist money there. Unless people want to wear gas masks and play real-life Fallout for the day with their paintball guns or something like that. This is what they should do at Chernobyl. Turn it into a theme park. Oh, yeah, they should build like another skeleton city alongside Pripyat as well. They should go in and fix it up a little bit just so it's sort of stable. And then charge people like $10 to go in there with paintball guns or something like that. They'd have their fake Pip-Boy and all that shit. That'd get them some money. The Ukrainians, and I think part of the exclusion zones in Belarus as well, if I remember correctly. Can't quite remember. I think it was right on the border of the two, actually. So they're sort of screwed. Birth defects in the surrounding area. Yeah, so when your kid gets leukemia because you live next to the waste site, yeah, you say nuclear is safe. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Another collapse at Hanford. Expect more to come. That ground shifts. There's seismic activity in the world. Natural disasters occur. Terrorists would love to get their hands on a couple casks of that material, strap it to some C4, and blow it up in an urban area. It's a constant threat. And it's going to remain a constant threat. That's about all. Peace out.